Welcome to Excel Tips and Excel tip number 39. And this week is going to be slightly different, and it's going to be a little bit weird, to be honest. In the organisation I work for, we've just had a mass move over to Excel 2007 from 2003. So for those people who have moved over, this tip's for you. For those who haven't, this tip is going to be for you in the near future, hopefully. The only problem is I already have 2010. As you've seen throughout all the tips. So, we're going to have fun times. I'm going to try explain 2007 introduction to you using 2010. Bear with me. So, the first thing that you're going to notice in 2007 from 2003 is your Excel options have changed from their traditional position of being under Tools Options to somewhere completely different. In the top left corner of your Excel, you're going to have a round bubble up here. If you click on that bubble, it's going to do very similar to what happens when I click File. It's going to bring up a menu. Now, in this menu down the bottom, about here for you, I'd guess, there's going to be Excel options. For me, it's just here. And if you click on that, it's going to bring up a pane like this. Now, this is where all your different Excel options are. Important stuff like formulas and calculation options. So where you can find whether or not it's on manual or automatic. So stuff like that is now contained, as I said, in the round bubble at the top, followed by Excel options on the tab, sort of to the right-hand bottom corner. So that's one really important thing to notice. The next thing is we've actually now got a quick access toolbar up the top here. You can actually add icons to this. The same way you've got icons down here, you can add them up the top. And essentially, if you go down here, you can actually add to quick access and remove from quick access. So if there's icons that you really like having up the top, you can put them there. Now, using this drop down arrow, you can actually get down to more commands. And more commands is essentially where you can edit the quick access toolbar and also customize the ribbon. So not only can you add it straight off the ribbon itself, but you can go through all the different commands, popular commands, or all the others, which is quite a few, and add it quickly to the toolbar. And this works in both 2007 and 2010. Another thing that you can look at is customizing the toolbar where we were. So customize the ribbon, so you can actually add more ribbons in, create your own new ribbon. We touched on this in an earlier version of one of the tips, but just as a refresher, so you can add a new tab, you can add new sub-tabs, add icons to the tabs, so it's fully customizable ribbon and menu system. And I just noticed that I've got developer turned on, which is not by default, so I'll just tick that off again. So, and you'll see developer goes away. Another thing which is new is the way that the tabs work. So now you go across, and this is what I was talking about by the ribbon. So you'll see each one has ribbon items, or each menu has a ribbon to it and items along the ribbon. So if I want to go to data, you'll see all the different items along the ribbon. And hopefully you've got a little bit more familiar with this over the last 40-odd tips that we've done. But you'll become more accustomed to it the more you use it. At first it's very, very difficult, but I think you'll find once you get used to it, it's actually quite difficult to go back towards the 2003. The other thing that you need to pay attention to is, say we want to add a chart, you actually have sub-ribbons which come up. So you'll see Chart Tools has just dropped itself on the end there, and suddenly you can actually jump between a whole new set of options and ribbons for each of the chart tools. And that will exit out automatically when you jump out of the chart or delete the chart. And there's a whole heap of sub-menus and a whole new system. So really look forward to getting in and using that ribbon and getting familiar with it, because it's a lot of fun and it makes life a lot easier. The other thing is down the bottom right. If you click on the status bar, you can actually add in all these different options now. Before, you only had the ability to do one of these 6 items here. Now you can do all of them, one of them, 2 of them, however many combinations you want, and you can actually also control all of these different other items by just clicking on the status bar. So that's a really short glimpse, a 5-minute glimpse at Excel 2007 and Excel 2010. Just a reminder, if you do save as Excel 2007, which is XLSX, you'll get something like an extra, I think it's 16,000 columns and an extra 1 million rows. Fantastic. only fantastic if your client's able to use 2007, because it won't work in 2003 if you've breached those parameters. So just be mindful of what the client's requirements are when you use Excel files. You can always do a save in compatibility mode or a historical save mode to get it back to XLS rather than XLSX. So that's all for this tip, and hopefully you enjoy 2007 and 2010 as much as we do in the modelling team.